Welcome to WP Coffee Talk. Thank you to all of our sponsors, and especially to our espresso level sponsors, Helix Managed WordPress Hosting, for both their sponsorship and for hosting our site, and to Expander Digital for both their sponsorship and providing SEO services to us. Now enjoy the episode.
Yeah.
Welcome to WP Coffee Talk, where I get to talk to people all over the world about WordPress and what they do with it. Talking about some people in the WordPress community and introducing you to the community at large. And it's just one of my passions. What can I say? And so tonight I'm talking to somebody in San Diego, California. Now she says it's cold over there. It's 37 degrees Fahrenheit here. So I'm gonna guess that maybe it's a little colder in Rochester, New York, but that doesn't diminish how cold you feel. If you're cold, you're cold. But anyway, Amy Hall, welcome to WP Coffee
That's
Talk.
true. Let me. I can't even tell you how cold it is here, but I bet it's like in 65, maybe 70.
That's shorts and tank top weather in New York, by the way. But it's all how we acclimate, right? It's all about acclimation. It's not about putting each other down. It's just funny.
It's all relative.
It's all real. It is, for sure. So anyway, Amy Hall, welcome to WP Coffee Talk. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you, Michelle?
I'm good, thank you. I say tonight, it's only 2 o'clock where you are, but it's 5 o'clock here. It's already dark out. So again, it's all from your point of view.
Yeah, and where the sun is.
And it's exactly true. So Amy, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
I am a email marketing specialist and strategist. I'm a MailChimp expert and partner, and I like to tinker with WordPress websites. I'm also the one of the organizers for the Carlsbad WordPress meetup, and I'm organizing the San Diego WordCamp for 2020.
That's exciting. You guys didn't have one this last year, so it's going to be nice to have it back.
It is.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I hope I get to come out to it. That would be fun. So tell
I'd
us.
love to have you.
Oh, I'm gonna apply to speak, and if I get in, then I'm gonna find a way to be there. So that's where my company is too. So I gotta show and represent. So now I know that you
should come.
Exactly. Oh, so we got a little delay here. I'm gonna guess. Yep, I'm on the wrong Wi-Fi. This is gonna keep happening. I'm gonna switch Wi-Fi's real quick.
Yes, we do.
I should be right back. Hopefully I won't lose you, but if I do, 1 second. Are you still there? Yay.
I am here.
Okay, this sounds like it's a little bit better, so hopefully this will work a little bit better. So sorry about that. Sometimes I still pick up the neighbor's Wi-Fi where I used to actually rent. Well, I used to rent from them, my office, and then we moved over here and got our own Wi-Fi, but sometimes my computer still connects to the wrong one. So anyway, technical difficulties aside, I know you have more than one mug to show us, so I want to see them both. So show us. Let me see your mug.
So this is actually my hot mug because it's pink, so it's warm.
And
my daughter made these for me. And then this is my cold mug. It's blue, so that would be cold. And it has Dory, who is my very favorite, and it says "Just keep swimming," which is my very favorite quote of all time. Love Dory.
I tell myself, just keep breathing, just keep breathing. But I say it like Dory in my head, like, I'm going to get through this, just keep breathing. So what's in your hot and what's in your cold mug tonight or today?
So in my hot mug is pumpkin spice from Tea Republic. I love this. Oh my God, it's so delicious. Nice. It's black tea, and I put almond milk in it, just a little bit, make it nice and creamy. Oh, so good. Almost like a latte. And then in my cold is blackberry sage.
Very good. Well, I'm rocking
my favorite also.
I've got my WordCamp, my WordCamp Niagara sippy cup from from camp this October where I was the keynote, which is pretty cool. And I'm drinking Dr. Pepper. I almost never drink soda anymore. And I was craving Dr. Pepper today, and I thought, you know what? If you're craving it that much, you should just give in and have it once in a while. So
Yeah.
it's coffee. It's coffee talk. You're drinking tea. I'm drinking Dr. Pepper, and it's okay. It's all good.
I'm drinking tea.
That's right. So,
Yeah.
oh, that's right. You're drinking tea. I said coffee, didn't I? You're
It
drinking
works.
tea. I'm drinking Dr. Pepper. Everybody's happy. That's what's important. So tell us, Amy, how did you get started with WordPress?
I have a really bizarre story. I was working for a personal development, a guy who did personal development. He was in the secret, and he killed 3 people in the sweat lodge. And I knew 2 of the people that died, and it was very, very, very tragic. It was horrible. There was no reason it had to happen. And to heal from the process, my husband said, why don't you come work with me for a little while you're looking for something else and while you're healing. And he was a WordPress developer. So I started working with him, and he started teaching me everything WordPressy. And then it turned out I was better than him, and it turned into my business.
That's wonderful. I love that story.
So yeah, from a horrible, horrible tragedy to having a wonderful, wonderful business. It's very cool, but not the beginning part.
Not the origin part, but the getting better than your husband part. I like that part a lot. And I also like the word WordPressy. I think you just coined that. It's all WordPressy.
WordPressy.
That's great.
There's a lot of stuff that's like WordPressy. It's not just code and stuff. I don't do any code, so.
Yeah, I don't either. So I understand. Yeah. So when you look at other people's websites, which, when in our business, we see websites all the time, of course, what's something you think we need to focus better attention on to make websites better for the end user, for each other? What's something that we need to do better?
Clarity. I was just talking about this with my own website today. I have a lot of services, and I think that my own services page is overwhelming when people come to my services page. So I need to make it clearer, easier to use, but get it clearer. And one of the things that I didn't realize but was brought up was that, well, you know what your services are, but you're not explaining them so that people who don't know what your services are know what your services are.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, oh yeah, that would help, Paul. Yeah. So clarity.
Maybe. Yeah. I think that's a good point. Absolutely. We've had other people say similar things on the show before, whether it's better call to action or better navigation. All of that works together towards the clarity so that people understand what they're supposed to do when they get on your site. So yeah, I absolutely understand what you're saying. Absolutely.
And what they're supposed to buy.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So what's something that you wish you had known earlier in your career that you've learned since that might have made life a little bit easier?
It's gonna be weird. So I work with my husband, and I wish I had known how to deal with working with a spouse. I'm gonna say it that way.
I've heard similar things from other people in the past. My mother used to say that if you want a divorce, hang wallpaper together, because that's the fastest way to get to a divorce. So I can't imagine doing everything like day in and day out. It's like, go to your separate corners and work for a while.
Well, the good thing is we're both introverts, so it's fine that we're not talking to each other. We don't have those kind of issues, but we solve problems differently, but we always come to the same conclusion. We just have different paths to get there, So as soon as we figured out the paths were different, but the conclusion was always the same, as soon as
Mm-hmm.
we figured that out, we just went, okay, what's the bottom line here? And we're good then. It's just that, yeah, it's those different paths.
That's
So,
funny. As long as you see eye to eye at the end, that's all right then, right?
uh, yeah, we always, oh, like 98.7% of the time come to the same conclusion.
That's wonderful, then.
Yeah,
You're on the same page. I like it.
it's just girl logic and boy logic.
There you go. That
Just
makes sense,
good
actually.
logic and then interesting
Theirs.
logic.
That's funny.
And I
When you
want
think back, when you think back over the WordCamps and meetups and other WordPressy events that you've been to, what are some like pivotal moments for you? Whether maybe it was a talk you saw, somebody that you met in the hallway track, or maybe it was even giving a talk. What are one or two moments that really made a difference for you?
Oh, okay. So the first one is back in, I think it was 2015. One of the people that's in the Orange County WordPress community, his name is Jamal. I don't remember his last name. He is a sweetie pie, nicest guy. And he gave a talk about seniors and the challenges that seniors have when they're using a website. And I, I was floored. It was so interesting, all of the information that he had to give. And it was like the beginning of the accessibility talks, right? He was
Mm,
saying, well, things are going to look more yellow. You've got to have bigger fonts. You've got to make buttons easy to push. You've got to make a clear road because these people are having visual issues. And so it was just like, that was probably one of the best talks because my brain started thinking differently.
mm-hmm.
So that was really cool. And then I think I was talking at WordCamp Seattle last year, not this year, last year. And I'm on stage talking and answering questions and blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden in my own brain, I'm like, dude, you know your stuff. And I was just like, oh my God, you legitimately can stand up here and answer these questions. You're awesome.
I
So
love it. That
yeah, that
is
was very cool.
that is perfect. Absolutely. I'll tell you the first point that you made about um, seniors uh, using the web and things like that. I'll tell you, it's in the last 10 years that my eyesight has gotten worse and worse, and I'm, pumping up the numbers on my readers and on my bifocals and everything. And I use Divi a lot, and I'll install Divi, and it defaults to like a size 12 font with this gray text. I'm like, who's reading light gray on white? I don't understand. I mean, I understand not going to full on black, but come on, give us a break.
Yeah. And so emails, people don't think about emails as you have accessibility issues. You have the same
Yeah.
issues in emails that you have in websites, and people
Mhm.
don't think about it that way, right? They need
Yeah.
to be mobile first, right?
Mhm.
So I get emails that are great text, and I'm like, dude, I am sitting in the bathroom at the movie theater reading my emails. You think I can
Yep.
read that? Nope. Delete.
Exactly. And now, so talking about email, so that's something that you're an expert on. So I love MailChimp. I've used MailChimp for lots of customers over the years. I don't do a lot of freelancing anymore, but I still have my own MailChimp account and use it for church and things like that. And the first time I put together any kind of email was Constant Contact, and then later into MailChimp. And it was like, as I'm assembling it, I was like, wow, this is just like building a website, because you're building these little sections, and you're changing fonts and colors and adding images. And so I can see why that would be something that somebody who's done web building and things like that would be drawn to. So talk a little bit about maybe some of your tips and tricks, or what drew you in, or whatever you'd like to share about working with MailChimp.
So MailChimp just put out a website builder.
I was going to ask you about that too.
I really like it, but it's not robust enough yet, but for beginning. And MailChimp's really, they're a lot like WordPress because they release early and they iterate a lot. People get so angry, and I'm like, dude, they're just iterating. Why would you put something together when you don't know how it's going to be used? Nothing's ever used the way you think it's going to be used. It's going to be used differently. So,
Right.
but basically, mobile first, just like websites, mobile first. Even if you don't think that your people are reading on mobile, when you have something on mobile, it's going to look good. It may not look perfect on desktop, but it's going to look good on desktop. So just go mobile, because, in 10 years, 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, we might not even have desktops.
Right.
So just think how much things have changed.
Yeah.
Like just when everybody went to mobile, MailChimp just changed everybody over to mobile by adding in that drag and drop builder, and they didn't make a big deal about it, but they gave everybody that brand new drag and drop editor so that people could build their own, and that was the big deal, was the drag and drop. Well, what they really were doing is forcing everybody now to have responsive emails. And they were the first people who did it. They're more forward thinking than a lot of the other email marketing platforms. And people are like, MailChimp is blah, blah, blah. I understand MailChimp is blah, blah, blah. And every email platform has issues. They all have their pros and they all have their cons. It's going to be the one that you're most comfortable with, that can do what you need it to do. And I can make MailChimp do just about everything.
I love it. Back when I was working on my MBA in 2001, I was one of the first class to graduate with an e-commerce.
Oh, nice.
Because it was like just the boom was starting to hit, and it was like, I think the cheapest you could get a URL was like $45, and now they're like dollars, and yeah, it was really expensive, and it was an interesting place to start to get into. And I remember looking at SurveyMonkey and thinking, why would anybody ever use something that says monkey, like SurveyMonkey? Like, that's so unprofessional. And then later on, it's like MailChimp. And then there's a photo editor that has ape in the word. Yeah, oh, there you go. Yeah. PicMonkey. And then I was like, and now it's like, oh, it's just the way it is, But at the time when I was trying to be so professional and do these emails, I'm like, I can't use something with the word monkey in it. I can't use something with the word chimp in it. And now it's like, oh, it doesn't matter. Everybody, it does that it really doesn't matter what the builder's called. You just create what you create and send it out. But I actually remember putting it in a paper that, nobody's ever going to use SurveyMonkey because it says monkey in it. Boy, was I wrong. It is. Mea culpa. I was wrong on that one. I've actually never purchased a domain with any kind of simian anything into it, but have you?
Yes. But then I had to take it down. I had MailChimp help.
Oh, okay. They didn't like that you used it.
Yeah, I knew I was bending the rules, but I tried.
Yeah, there you go. So
yeah,
maybe we could have like WP Monkey Helper or something.
I thought about all of that, but now it's not. Domain names are not as important as they used to be. So I just use my name.
There you go. It's perfect.
Yep.
Very good. So if there was one, so obviously we're building mobile now, and MailChimp actually forces you to do that. What is, once you're in MailChimp, what is one of your biggest don't break this rules?
Don't have great text.
Yeah,
and
true.
don't have small text.
I agree.
Yes,
What do
have
you feel?
long text.
What do you feel about light text on a dark background?
So I'm not a big fan of the dark things. And I'm like, every time somebody comes out with those dark dashboards, I'm like, oh, is it just because I'm old that I don't like that?
I
Maybe
hate
I
it
can
too.
like that now. And I hear people saying, oh, it's so much easier on my eyes.
Yeah,
And I'm
I'm the
like,
other way.
yeah, me too. So, but it looks nice,
Yeah, I use it
but
sparingly. I'll use it as in a footer. I'll use it, as a little widget area or something. But yeah, I was just curious what you thought about that.
yeah, I'm trying to be open-minded and I'm not so much. I like
Yeah,
white and black.
it doesn't have to be our age either. Everybody gets set in their ways about something, right?
Yes. Even my 3-year-old granddaughter. No, I want
Exactly.
the Elmo donut, Granny.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So, let's see. So, talk about a little bit about what you do as an organizer for your meetup. And have you organized WordCamp before? Or is this your first time?
No, this is my first time. And I swore I wasn't going to organize a word camp because we have so many in our area. We are very blessed in this area. We have like 5 within driving distance.
Mm-hmm.
So I swore I was not going to do a word camp. I was going to do a hackathon because I thought, oh, that would be so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, now I'm doing organizing a word camp. Yeah, we just submitted our budget yesterday.
Oh, that's exciting.
Oh, it's
So,
super exciting.
once that's approved, then you can tell everybody what the date is and all of the other good stuff, which is awesome.
Hopefully, it's the first weekend in May.
That'd be great.
That's going to be up to the venue, but they have
Mm-hmm.
us. I think they have us on hold,
Oh,
so
nice.
that's good.
Oh, that'd be great.
Um, People are like, "Oh, it's so hard to be a meetup organizer," and I'm like, I'm not feeling ya. I don't have any problems. You got to get people to speak, and every once in a while, people get sick and they can't be there. So then you have to have somebody who can step in. But I have a great co-organizer. Her name is Christina Hills, and she teaches WordPress to beginners. So she is always more than happy to step in and give a presentation. So that's
There you go.
really good. So yeah, it's just, you got to get we had everything set up for about a year. Bridget Willard helped me start it, and she was like, you have to get all your speakers, and she introduced me to a bunch of people, and so I basically had a year's worth of speakers all lined up.
Nice.
And you do have to talk to the speaker a month ahead. Hey, remember that you're going to speak next month. Just want to make sure this is still the topic. This is still the description that we're going to use on the meetup. You just have to get them interested again in
Mm-hmm.
coming and speaking. But people are really, really generous in the WordPress community, and they drive crazy distances to come and
Yeah.
speak. So that's very cool.
I found that to be true here in Rochester as well. And once in a while, we'll have somebody, come in on a Zoom meeting or Skype or something and present long distance if I can't find anybody local and it's a topic that people here want to learn about. So that's been kind of fun too, every once in a while. And
Nice.
yeah, and I actually presented to Pittsburgh about a month and a half ago via
Oh, that's
Zoom.
cool.
Yeah.
That's
So,
totally cool. I
yeah,
hadn't thought about that.
right? There's some opportunities there. I I love customizing 404 pages. That's my thing. I
Cool.
just I just love it. And so I have a talk on 404 pages and why you should have a custom 404 page. And so I gave that talk here in Rochester. I gave that talk and for over the airwaves to Pittsburgh too, which was a lot of fun.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
yeah, it's kind of a
Is
fun
it on,
little thing.
is your talk on WordPress TV?
No, not yet, because I haven't actually given it a word camp at all.
Oh,
But yeah, I have a slide deck out on slideshare.net. I can send you the link later if you're interested in
yeah,
seeing what I
I would
have on the
love to.
slide deck. I'd
Because
be happy to.
I'm rebranding my site and having actually somebody write my copy and somebody design it.
Yeah.
I'm going to build it, but yeah.
I am putting together a website right now. If you go there, you're just going to see a blank installation, but 404play.com.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
And it's Matt Graham in Canada and we're going to offer to do 404 pages, design 404 pages for people for a flat fee.
Nice.
Because my sense of humor goes far with the 404s. Anyway, we'll talk more later.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, there's some fun stuff. Anyway, I'm going to move to my rapid fire questions and see what your
Okay.
answers are to those. What are 2 or 3 must-have plugins that you would advise other people to use on their sites?
This was going to be controversial, but Yoast. I use Yoast a lot. I really don't have any other must-haves. Oh, for email subscription forms, especially on WordPress, I like MailMunch. And
Yeah.
MailMunch is not widely known or used in the WordPress space, but yeah, I like MailMunch. So I would say that.
Nice. Okay, very good. Do you have any particular backup plugin that you use or form plugin for just standard forms?
Gravity Forms.
Mm-hmm.
And then backups, we do, I don't use a plugin for backups.
Okay, there you go. Some people do, some people don't. So that's all good. At any point in your WordPress journey, have you had a WordPress mentor or somebody that mentored you in business? And who was it?
Okay, so now that you say it that way, I've had to. So
Okay.
my husband,
Mm-hmm.
like for 6 months, was constantly over my shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
just like teaching me everything. I was like a sponge and I just soaked it all up. And he was awesome, like
That's great.
totally awesome. And then Jen Bourne.
Mm-hmm.
I've done all of Jen Bourne's programs. She is amazingly brilliant and just super savvy. I can't say enough wonderful, wonderful things about her. Like she's crazy smart, that woman.
I've heard some really good things, yeah.
Yeah. Her content camp that she just put together this past September was mind blowing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh yeah. It was one of the best seminars I've ever been to.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard good things about her. I don't know that I've actually met her yet, but I know I follow her on social everything, probably.
Yeah, she's super nice too. I love her.
That's awesome. So, Jen Bourne and your husband aside, who's somebody else that you admire in the WordPress community and why?
Oh, oh my God. How to pick one.
You could have 2. I'll let you have 2.
Okay. All right. So Various Smith out in Riverside. That man is incredibly gracious
Yes, he
and
is.
kind and giving. He's such a good guy. And he would bend over backwards for anyone. The other person is Bridget Willard. That girl's got a brain on her too.
Yes,
I
she
love her
does.
brain. Yeah. She has got a brain on her. And she's just sweet. I felt included. So I used to go to Women Who WordPress in Orange County. That's how I met everybody and how I really got into hardcore into the WordPress community.
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt included with them. And we just hang and pal. And I hung out with her last year at US, not this year, but last year
Mhm.
we're at
Mhm.
US. I had the best time in the world. She knows everybody. She introduces you to everybody. She's just, oh, I love her.
Yeah. That's awesome. She was a keynote speaker for WordCamp Rochester in our second year.
Oh, nice,
So yeah, that was pretty cool to
nice.
have her out here too, for
She's
sure.
amazing speaker too.
Yep. She does. She knows her stuff for sure.
Yeah,
What's something you would still want to learn in WordPress that you haven't tackled yet?
probably coding, like JavaScript.
Mhm.
I don't know that I ever want to do that, but um, like the really good thing about WordCamps is that you get such a wide variety of education at WordCamps.
Mhm.
So I go and I dabble in a lot of things because of WordCamps, but the only thing
Mhm.
I don't dabble in is coding. I mean, other than HTML and a little bit of CSS.
Mhm.
But I probably dive a whole lot deeper into CSS and Java. So my forms would do what they need to do.
I like, I don't think I ever see myself doing coding either, but I like understanding how some of it works. So I agree with you, absolutely. Plus, being able to fix something every once in a while wouldn't be so bad.
Well, and just not looking like a deer in the headlights when people are talking around you and you're like, okay, this is way over my head.
So that's when I usually start making my grocery list in my head, so at least I look like I'm thinking about something.
Yeah, well, my husband is the cook and the grocery shopper, so I can't even do that.
Okay, your Amazon Christmas list. I don't know, something.
I probably think about my grandkids because they're always in the
That's great.
forefront of my head.
That's awesome. I love that. What's one of the biggest WordPress mistakes you've ever made, and what did you learn from it?
Um, I don't remember how I did it, but I botched a whole site to white screen.
Mm.
And luckily, my husband fixed it. Can you tell? Like, if I didn't have my husband, I'd be SOL completely.
Mhm.
Um, and he might have just had to restore it because it might have been so bad. But I learned not to do things that I don't think I should. But at the same time, I feel real comfortable going in there and clicking stuff now. And I also learned back up, back up, back up, back up, back up
That's
a lot.
right. You can break anything if you have a backup.
Yes. Yeah. And that's the first thing I do. People are like, oh, even in MailChimp, oh, I want to do this with my template, or I want to do this with my list. I export a list before I go do any list work.
Mhm.
I save a new template before I go and do any template changes
Yeah,
because you can't get it back. So
right.
it's been nice because where I came from, WordPress and actually more content management. I did a lot of content management when I first did.
Mhm.
Um, it has translated over to email really, really well.
Good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, the backup. That's been my lesson in the past as well. So, yeah.
Yes. A white
What's your
screen does not mean that you're dead completely.
It just
And
feels
don't
that way
cry.
for
Yes.
yeah. There's no crying in WordPress. Oh, yes, there is.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, there is. What's
But
your
no, it's
proudest?
only like twice a year. So that's good.
That's all right then, sure.
Yeah.
What's your proudest WordPress moment?
My proudest WordPress moment was I did a website for a progressive political candidate I think she was in Michigan, No, Minnesota. She was in Minnesota and she was running for the library board. And I volunteered to do her website. And that was my proudest moment because the first time she looked at her website, she's like, oh, this is perfect. This is totally me. Can you take out that stock photo and put this almost same setup photo with my face that we took
Wow.
at the library last week? So that was pretty cool.
That sounds
She
very cool.
Yeah.
I can see how that can make you real happy for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She didn't get elected, but she only lost by 2%.
Oh, wow. That's really close.
Yes, it was super close. So
Wow.
I said, hey, I'm gonna say the backup. Next time, we'll
That's
just pop
right.
it back up.
We'll just redeploy and change a few things. Absolutely. If you weren't working in technology at all, so, no MailChimp and no websites and all that, what's another career that you might like to attempt?
Um, yeah,
Don't hurt yourself.
I have no flaming clue. I hated what I did before this. Um, and
There you go.
everything. Well, the job that I liked the most was I was a retail manager at Bath and Body Works.
Mm-hmm.
But that's so hard on your body. But I had a lot of fun there. The other job I had a lot of fun, and I would do again, like when I get older,
Mm-hmm.
is be a barista at Starbucks.
Oh, yeah. They look like they have so much fun.
It was so much fun. And I worked in a Barnes and Noble, so it was a Starbucks cafe.
Oh, yeah.
So I got to read all the books because Barnes and Noble for the employees at the time that I was there, it was like a library.
Yeah.
The employees can borrow the books. So I borrowed
Oh, wow.
so many books. It was awesome.
That's awesome. Did you like purposely write people's names wrong just for fun?
No. Honestly, I would have never done that. I'm not that kind of person.
It
And
is funny though when you see that.
I would have always said, and how do you spell that? Yeah.
That's funny.
No, I can't. I would never do that because I have a really simple name, but people get it wrong all the time. You would think Amy, 3 letters, it would be super easy, but no, it's not apparently. And one time I went in to pick up my drink, and there were 4 Amy's picking up mobile orders at the same
Oh,
time. Right?
no.
So now on my Starbucks mobile, my name is I am Groot.
I love it.
And it's hilarious because we have a big camper and like we drive back and forth across the United States visiting word camps, right? Going to word camps.
Mm-hmm.
And in like Tucson, no, it wasn't Tucson, it was Santa Fe, New Mexico. That's where it was. Santa Fe, New
Mm-hmm.
Mexico. Holy crap, the barista and I had like a 15-minute conversation about Guardians of the Galaxy. It's awesome. I get so many Groot.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to change my name to something else now too, because that's fun.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of Michelles in the world as well. So for sure. What's something on your bucket list?
Oh, visiting Scotland and
Hmm,
England and Ireland. That's probably within the next 2 years though.
nice.
Taking my grandkids to like Mount Rushmore.
Mm-hmm.
Um, taking time and driving around the United States. We have a big travel trailer that we just drive everywhere in. And we drove to Atlanta for WordCamp Atlanta. It was
Oh, wow.
fun. We had a really good time.
That's
So
great.
yeah, you just have to have enough time to be able to do it.
Yeah. And the kind of work that you do though, you can do from almost anywhere. So
Yes, and sometimes when you're getting in those time frames, like, oh, we got to get there by this date, we got to get here by this date to be able to make sure that's when it gets to be It gets to be
Yeah.
crazy and you can't get your work done because you have to be on the road. And I'm lucky I don't get car sick, so I can actually work while we're driving. But we like to drive the 2-lane roads. And
Hmm.
like in Kansas, it's beautiful, super
Mm.
beautiful. Farms, just agriculture everywhere. But tractors drive on those roads and they're like this the entire time. So you can't click a link. You can't copy and paste anything. So you
Oh,
don't get the work time that you need to get in.
right. That makes sense. Yeah. But you get to see
And
the world, so
yeah, I would have never thought that when we started going. So
yeah,
we've
that's funny.
limited. We can go out for 3 weeks, and then we have to be back. Yeah,
That sounds fun though.
yeah.
W- Show us or tell us about a hidden talent that you have that the WordPress community might not know about.
Uh, uh. Okay, my plants.
They're beautiful.
I grow them. It's not really hard. They're pothos. They're low light. You just give them water, they grow. It's not like it's
Well,
hard. But I do like
you
plants. I have a lot of plants in my house.
I have succulents on my desk. As a matter of fact, here's like I have just this little one. Wait, I have another one. I just put water in it, but I have this little one. I put a little ladybug on him right there.
Oh,
And
cute.
I have succulents because they're harder to kill.
You would think. But if I'm going to kill something, it's actually going to be a succulent because I'm going to forget to water it. These
Yeah,
are
that's
like,
why. Yeah.
I have to water them every week. So I have a schedule. But succulents are not
Well,
scheduling.
the succulents are on my desk, so they're in my line of vision all the time. So that's why
So yes.
maybe I do a little bit better with them. I don't know. So, but I have brown thumbs. Brown thumbs. Everything dies on my watch. So that's why the plants in the office, other than the two on my desk, are other people's responsibilities. Like you can see we have a bamboo there. It would be dead if it wasn't for Jeff, who's on the other side, who always waters it
Yeah.
because
And
I'm
those
bad.
don't take much water and much light. Like my Dracena's grown a lot.
Yeah.
I'm so happy with my lucky bamboo.
I
Yeah,
love it.
I
And it
like plants.
looks beautiful behind you too. So that's lovely.
Thanks. That one's fake, so I don't have to worry about that
Okay, well don't water it then.
one. No, that one's not gonna be good. Because my power supply's down there.
Who shorted out the house? Amy did it. She was watering the fake plant again. Yeah, that'd
We
be
need
bad.
to give mom some more medicine. She's watering fake plants.
Exactly.
I can hear my daughter saying that. Oh,
Well,
mom.
I prior to working with WordPress, I actually ran a massage school. I worked in higher ed for over 20 years.
I'm
And
nice.
for 5 years, I was the campus director of two massage schools, one in Rochester and then the sister school in Syracuse. And we would hire students to do the cleaning until I was like, okay, this is enough because the cleaning doesn't get done because the students have to study and whatever. So I went with we have Arc of Monroe. It's special needs people that need jobs, and so they did a lot better job than students would who didn't really care. But anyway, so when I first started there, we had one student who was cleaning and we had a ton of plants in the school, and it was her job to water the plants. And one day I'm walking down the hall, and she's watering this one plant in the hall, and I said, "What are you doing?" And she said, "Watering the plants." I said, "You don't have to water the plastic ones." She looks at me, she goes, "I've been watering this for a full semester." I said, "You really didn't need to." I go, "That one's fake."
Why wouldn't you touch it?
Well, but like some of the fake ones really feel real, like they make them. And this was one of those high end ones that you almost couldn't tell, but yeah, no, it wasn't real.
Yeah, no, you can always tell.
She couldn't. She was not. She was a city girl. Maybe that was why. But
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And I have we're talking about getting hydroponics and putting out a greenhouse and yeah. I do like my plants. You wouldn't tell that from my yard, but I do like my
I can tell it from behind you though, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, but we can't go on vacation with these the way they
Oh, true.
are. Yeah, we can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't go away for 3 weeks. This would not work for 3 weeks.
You'd have to have somebody come in and take care of them.
Yeah, I fostered them out last time,
Oh yeah,
and that was
didn't do well, huh?
no. I'm still doing a little bit of first aid. I have a big, tall, like he's probably 5 foot tall. Money tree.
Mhm.
I got him when he was like 3 foot tall, right? And he's grown so much. Oh my God, he's my favorite plant because he's awesome. Um, and I say that to him every single time I water him. You're so awesome. Um, and he lost a bunch of leaves.
No.
Oh, I got him back. I'm like, sweetheart, we can never leave him again. We have to take him with us every single time. We cannot allow this poor baby to look like this ever again. But now he's putting out leaves where he wouldn't put out leaves before, so that's kind of cool.
That is cool.
He's going to be bushy now.
You put them through plant rehab.
I put him through plant hell,
There you go.
and now he's going into plant rehab.
There you go.
Yeah, poor little guy. Well, he's
Well,
not so little anymore, but poor guy.
I'm glad he's making his way back. That's a good thing.
So am I, because I was going to cry. I already did cry over him, but I was
Uh-huh.
going to really cry.
Well, I'm glad he's back. That's a good thing.
Yes.
So tell us, Amy, how do we find you in social media, and how do we find your website?
I'm at amyhall.biz. It's BIZ. amyhall.com was taken. She's a realtor, so I had to have biz. I'm also on Twitter at Genuine Amy Hall, because there are 700,000, over the 700,000 Amy Halls in the United States alone. Make sure that your Amy Hall is a genuine Amy Hall.
There you go. I love that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, nobody forgets it then.
So we will see the genuine Amy Hall on Twitter, and we will visit you at amyhall.biz. Thank you so much for being with me today. I really appreciate getting to know you better and sharing your story with the WordPress community.
It was a lot of fun.
Good.
I can't wait till you come to San Diego and I get to meet you IRL.
I know, me too. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to start planning my trip. So.
Yay!
That'll be good. So thanks for being here. Thank you, everybody who tunes in and watches us on WP Coffee Talk. And we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.